Hi students, today you are joining with CS Sri Lanka Transformation Program BL5 Audit, Business Process and Digitalization subject. Actually we conducted series of lectures. Today you are joining with section number 7 Audit Reporting. In other words, it's all about issuing the audit report. So that you know that in the audit process we are having planning stage and then risk assessment and then execution, finally issuing the audit report. Today we are focusing about how we are going to issue the audit report. So then to issue the audit report, you should know the basic background knowledge about planning, risk assessment and then basically execution, and whatever the results we took from this execution stage, we are going to summarize here. CS Sri Lanka's transformation program එක යටතේ, so we are focusing about the students who are coming from Sinhala medium to English medium. අපි institute එක විදියට ළමයි students ලට help එකක් වෙන්න තමයි මේ series lecture series එක conduct කරන්නේ. අපි lectures මේ වෙනකොට 9ක් complete කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒ 9 study කරලා ඔයාට final stage එක audit එක audit report එක issue කරන්නේ කොහොමද කියන එක තමයි අපි මෙතෙන්දී කතා කරන්න plan කරන්නේ. එතකොට අපි audit report එක issue කරන තැනදී audit කොහොමද plan කරේ, risk එක assess කරේ, ඒ risk එක assess කරපු විදියට කොහොමද අපි audit procedures perform කරේ, ඒ audit procedures වලින් හම්බුණු issues, scope limitation finalize කරලා අපේ audit outcome එක, audit opinion එක issue කරන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා තමයි අපි මෙතෙන්දී කතා කරන්න හදන්නේ. Right. So then we can go forward. Today we are with section number 10, audit reporting. We are remaining with another 4 sections to complete overall syllabus. Right. Once we are discussing about audit reporting, audit opinion, we have 4 main guidelines, 4 main auditing standards to refer. So we can overall we can say that it's all about 700 series. 700 series. අපි auditing standards කතා කරනකොට series වශයෙන් තමයි කතා කරන්නේ. අපි 700 series එක අපි focus කරන්නේ audit reporting aspect එක. එතකොට 700 අපි කොහොමද audit opinion එක audit opinion එක content එක කොහොමද? ඒකේ clean opinion එකක් දෙන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා audit reports basic elements ගැන කතා කරනවා 700 revised standard එක. And 701 basically focusing about key audit matters, CAM, right? So then 705 that talks about modification of the opinion, how we are going to modify a audit opinion. And modification may be qualification, adverse or disclaimer opinion. So that will be discussed under 705 standard. And then 706 standard, basically we are discussing about emphasis matter and other matter paragraph. So then these are the key standards we are focusing about audit reporting. අපි එතකොට කොහොමද මේක audit conclusion stage එකේ මේ auditing standard refer කරන්න කලින් අපි study කරපු අනිත් areas වලට audit reporting link වෙන්නේ කොහොමද කියන එක understand එකක් අරගෙන අපි in depth study කරන්න ගියොත් හොඳයි. මොකද audit reporting issuing the audit opinion කියන එක bit complex, because you know that the signing the audit opinion is the final outcome that's responsible with the maybe audit partner or the audit firm or the key person in the audit team, right? So then drafting the audit report, actually that will be done by the senior persons in the audit team. So then it's a bit a complex area. So after arranging all those results, after concluding all those results, summarize into one particular audit report may be a complex task. So before we are jumping to that, so we should know what's the relationship between other aspect we have already learned to this audit reporting section. So then I will explain a bit and we'll move into our subject area, right? So firstly, we had draft financials, right? Draft financials. So then we wanted to uh, put a kind of adjective to this. What is that? Audited financial. We want to add this adjective. To add this adjective, we are going to issue a audit opinion. To issue this audit opinion, we need a practitioner, the external auditor, right? External auditor. So then we appointed the external auditor and he accepted the audit engagement client, and then he started to audit this draft financials, right? As the audit firm or audit partner, he appointed the audit team, right? Audit team. So then it consisted audit partner, audit seniors, right? And then expert, and then juniors, right? So then audit team was there. So then they came to the company, started the auditing process. And basically, I'm not going to discuss about this. Understand the business and materiality calculation, and then understanding entry level controls, fraud environment, and those initial activities I'm not going to discuss here, right? We know that in this process we had 3 stages. What are they? Planning and risk assessment. Then second, execution. And then conclusion. So then this conclusion stage we call as audit reporting. That's all about section 10. Right? So then planning and risk assessment. We plan our audit procedures, and then we basically firstly we assess the risk. Accordingly we plan the audit procedures. So then we plan the audit procedures. What are the procedures we plan? Substantive procedures and TOC. We plan substantive procedures and TOC according to the assessed risk to the accession level. Whatever the significant account, significant disclosure, we assess the risk to accession level. If it is cash and bank, not the balance level, we evaluated cash and bank existence, cash and bank valuation, cash and bank completeness, inventory existence, inventory valuation, revenue measurement, occurrence. Likewise, whatever the balances and disclosures, we evaluated the risk to the accession level. Basically, we evaluated inherent risk and the control risk, right? So then, basically this financial statement consisted with account balances and then disclosures, and these account balances and disclosures came because of transactions. In previous lectures, we discussed that as auditor we are focusing about 3 elements. අපි auditor කෙනෙක් විදියට elements 3ක් ගැන කතා කරනවා. මොනවද? Account balances, disclosures and transaction. අපි audit කරන්න ඕන මේ areas තුනම. එතකොට account balances, disclosures, financial statement වලට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ because of transactions. එතකොට අපි Then again we discuss. We don't want to audit 100% of this. අපි සේරම transaction audit කරන්නේ නැහැ. සේරම account balance audit කරන්නේ නැහැ. සේරම disclosures audit කරන්නේ නැහැ. Audit කරන්නේ මොනවද? Those are the disclosures which will relevant for stakeholder decisions. In other words, we auditing only significant account balances, significant disclosures, significant class of transactions only. අපි auditor විදියට significant class of transaction අඳුනගත්තා, significant accounts අඳුනගත්තා, significant disclosures අඳුනගත්තා. ඒ significant account, significant disclosures, significant class of transaction අඳුනගෙන අපි ඒකට audit procedures කරා. එතකොට audit procedures කරන්න කලින් අපේ risk assessment එක base කරලා combined risk assessment එක base කරලා අපි මොකද කරේ? අපි audit approach එක decide කරා. So we can go to a kind of a new sheet, right? So then firstly we develop our CRA, combined risk. Combined risk consisted with inherent risk plus control risk, right? So then combined risk plus detection risk we call as audit risk. It's a audit risk equation. So then we can link with our next step, right? So then according to CRA we decided audit approach that may be full substantive approach or rely on control approach. Rely on control approach, in other words, substantive procedures plus TOC. Basically TOC plus substantive procedures, right? So then we decided this audit approach and we perform audit procedures according to the audit approach we selected. According to the audit approach, we perform audit procedures, which means TOC and substantive procedures, or only substantive procedures for significant accounts and significant disclosures, right? So then example, what are they? Significant accounts, we have already discussed inventory, cash, PPE, receivable, right? Once you are doing this, you can recall your memory. මොකද කරේ? audit approach එක decide කරා, TOC කරා, substantive procedures කරා, right? Inventory balance එක verify කරා, cash balance එක verify කරා, PPE revenue done, and plus disclosures as well. Not only significant accounts, significant disclosures as well. What are the disclosures we discussed? RPT, post balance sheet event after the reporting period, right? And then going concern assumption, and then contingent liability disclosure. Likewise, we may have different disclosures according to the industry. So then we perform audit procedures to verify significant disclosures as well. එතකොට අපි මේ audit procedures කරනකොට කල් ඉවර වෙලා තියෙනවා. දැන් execution stage අපි part 4කට කරා gathering audit evidence විදියට. එතකොට හැම section එකේදීම එක එක area එකට අදාළ අපි audit procedures කතා කරා. right? එතකොට අපි audit TOC කරා, අපි substantive procedures කරා. සමහර අවස්ථාවල අපි substantive procedures විතරක් කරා. That depends on your audit approach. එතකොට මේ audit procedures කරන එකේ අපි expectation එක මොකක්ද? auditee client හරියට significant account, significant disclosures report කළාද කියලා බලන්න. report කළා නැත්නම් අපි ඒව කියනවා findings කියලා. එතකොට අපිට මේ procedures කරන ඒවායි sample testing කරන ඒවායි observation කරන ඒවායි inquiry analytics කරන ඒවායි audit findings හම්බ වෙනවා. අපිට audit findings කියන්න පුළුවන්, concerns කියන්න පුළුවන්, audit issues කියන්න පුළුවන්. You can use any words. ඒවට අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් මොනවද? auditee client හරියට කරපු නැති areas. තව challenge එකක් හම්බෙන්න පුළුවන්. හරියට කරපු නැති areas වලට අමතරව you may see some of the scope limitation. Scope limitation mean what? It's a challenge faced by the auditor. Some areas are there, some significant accounts, some disclosures are there. Actually, the balance disclosure is there, but we don't have any evidence to check. There are limitations to get access to that particular evidence. If it is so, we can say that it's a challenge to the auditor. It's a scope limitation to auditor. So then, what we have to do is, after completing all those procedures for significant accounts and disclosures, you have to list down all the challenges, right? So then these challenges can be divided, these findings can be divided. Let's say it may be misstatements or scope limitations. Misstatements or scope limitations, right? Misstatements or scope limitation. So then misstatement may be mistake or fraud, right? So then example එකක් ගත්තොත් අපිට inventory balance එක ගන්න. inventory balance එක ගත්තොත් NRV අපි standard එකේ කොහොමද කියන්නේ? case 2 කියනවා as a company you have to report NRV and cost whichever is lower in the financial statements. අපි NRV calc කරද්දී NRV calculation එකේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා. එයා හරියට NRV කියන එක දන්නේ නැතුව තමයි calc කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒක මොකක්ද එතකොට? අපි auditor විදියට note කරගත්තොත් ඒක mistake එකක්. right? ඊට පස්සේ අපි liability ගත්තොත් company ට ඕන වෙලා තියෙනවා liability ටිකක් understate කරන්න. අපි try කරන්නේ liability understate කරලා පෙන්නන්නනේ. එතකොට අපි management එක decide කරලා තියෙනවා. අපි at the year end they are planning to issue some of the checks and we are keeping that checks in the bank reconciliation. We are going to reduce our liabilities. ඒක මොකක්ද? ඒක intentional fraud එකක්. අපි inventory verify කරන්න යනකොට එක area එකක් තියෙනවා significant inventory balance එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒ area එකට අපිට access නැහැ. අපිට මේක verify කරගන්න බෑ. inventory item ටික verify කරගන්න බෑ. ඒක මොකක්ද අපිට? scope limitation එකක්. අපි land එකක් අරගෙන තියෙනවා company. ලොකු amount එකක්. more than 50 million. අපිට තාම original deed එක හම්බෙලත් නැහැ. cash payment related details හම්බෙලත් නැහැ. board minutes වගේ decision making කරපු evidence එකක් විතරයි තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට අපිට ඒක මොකක්ද අපිට? ඒක scope limitation එකක්. අපිට PPE verify කරගන්න බැරි වෙලා තියෙනවා. එතකොට මෙන්න මේ අපි audit procedures කරගෙන යනකොට හම්බ වෙච්ච mistakes, frauds and scope limitations අපි මොකද කරන්නේ? අපි මේ වගේ දේවල් අපිට හම්බුනාම first step එක විදිහට මොකක්ද කරන්න ඕන? අපි communicate කරන්න ඕන management එකට. management එකට communicate කරන්න. management එකට communicate කරාම management එකේ ඔයාට lower level management, top level management, board of directors, audit committee inform කරන්න පුළුවන්. inform කරාට පස්සේ එයාගේ රෙස්පොන්ස් එක කොහොමද කියලා බලන්න. එයාගේ රෙස්පොන්ස් එක අනුව එයා ඇග්‍රි වෙනවා නම් මේ මිස්ටේක් එක කරෙක්ට් කරන්න. මේ ෆ්‍රෝඩ් එක රෙක්ටිෆයි කරලා කන්ට්‍රෝල් සෙටප් එක හදලා ආයෙත් ෆ්‍රෝඩ් වෙන්නේ නැති වෙන්න. ඒ ෆ්‍රෝඩ් එකෙන් වෙච්ච ෆයිනෑන්ෂල් ඉම්පැක්ට් එක ෆයිනෑන්ෂල්ස් වල කරෙක්ට් කරන්න ඇග්‍රි වෙනවා නම් ඊට පස්සේ ස්කෝප් ලිමිටේෂන් එක අයිඩෙන්ටිෆයි කරලා අපිට හම්බුන් නැති එවිඩන්ස් අපිට දෙනවා නම් ඕල්ටර්නේටිව් ඔඩිට් ප්‍රොසීජර්ස් එකක් කරන්න අපිට සපෝට් කරනවා නම් රයිට් කරනවා නම් අපිට මේ දීපු හම්බ වෙච්ච චැලෙන්ජස් රීවැලුවේට් කරන්න පුළුවන්. අපි මොකද කරන්නේ? අපි මොකද ඒකට කියන්නේ? රීවැලුවේට් කරලා බලලා මිස්ටේක්ස් ෆ්‍රෝඩ්ස් රෙක්ටිෆයි කරලා එන්ට්‍රීස් පාස් කරා නම් අපි ඒවට කියනවා corrected misstatement. corrected misstatement. corrected misstatement. ඒකට correct කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒකට scope limitation වලටත් අපිට support කරා නම් ඒ ටිකත් අපි rectify වෙච්ච scope limitation කියලා identify කරනවා. ඊට පස්සේ අපි බලනවා management එකෙන් responses ආවේ නැති mistakes, frauds, scope limitation මොනවද? ඒ ඉතුරු වෙච්ච ටික අපි කියනවා uncorrected misstatements, uncorrected misstatements and scope limitations. අනේ uncorrected misstatement, scope limitation අපි list කරනවා. scope limitation set එක අපි list කරනවා. list කරලා ඉවර වෙලා අපි බලනවා මේ ටික කොහොමද financial statement users ලට impact වෙන්නේ. අපිට කොහොමද මේක බලන්න වෙනව ඇත්තේ? stakeholders ලට impact වෙනවද කියලා. අපි මතකද planning stage එකේදී stakeholders ලගේ expectation perspective base කරලා යම්කිසි දෙයක් කැල් කරගත්තා. You can recall your memory. So that is called what? Materiality levels. අපිට materiality levels තියෙනවා. මේ overall result එක impact එක material level එක compare කරලා අපි බලනවා is that impact to the overall financial statement level or accession level or is that significant or pervasive. Accordingly we are going to issue the audit opinion. So the audit opinion එක දෙන්න කලින් uncorrected misstatements, scope limitation summary කරලා material level එක compare කරලා තමයි අපි audit opinion එක දෙන්න plan කරන්නේ. එතකොට මම මෙතනින් purpose කරේ අපි මුලින් ඉඳලා ආපු audit journey එක කොහොමද link වෙන්නේ කියන එක කතා කරන්න. එතකොට අපි තවදුරටත් ඉස්සරහට කතා කරොත් එහෙම summary කරලා අපි audit opinion එක issue කරනවා. එතකොට මේ audit opinion කියන එක තමයි අපිට ඕන වෙලා තිබුණු adjective එක draft financial statement එකට. ඒක මේක ආවට පස්සේ තමයි අපි කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? draft financial plus audit opinion equal to audited financial statement. audited financial statement තමයි stakeholders ලා decision making කරන්න ආසාවෙන් බලන් ඉන්නේ. එතකොට stakeholders ලා විදියට ගත්තොත් ඔයාට regulator ඉන්න පුළුවන්, shareholders ඉන්න පුළුවන්, creditors ලා, employees ලා ගොඩාක් කට්ටිය ඉන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට මේ audit opinion එක එක විදියට අපිට issue කරන්න පුළුවන්. අපි audit process එකේ යන විදියට audit standard වල තියෙන විදියට එහෙම strict classification එකක් නැතුණත් අපිට understanding purpose අපිට basic classification එකකට එන්න පුළුවන්. කොහොමද අපි classify කරගන්නේ? අපිට මෙහෙම කියන්න පුළුවන්. It may be clean opinion. clean opinion, modified opinion. Modified opinion. Right. Stakeholders ලා විදියට ගත්තොත් අපිට ඉන්න පුළුවන් shareholders ලා ඉන්න පුළුවන් employees ලා ඉන්න පුළුවන් ඊට පස්සේ regulator ඉන්න පුළුවන් IRD එක ඉන්න පුළුවන් journalist ලා ඉන්න පුළුවන් whatever the stakeholder creditors ලා ඉන්න පුළුවන් right so then they are waiting to get the audit opinion investors ලා ඉන්න පුළුවන් right එතකොට යාට audit opinion ಜಾති දෙකක් යන්න පුළුවන් that based on the audit evidence and as per the audit evidence as we summarized uncorrected misstatement and scope limitation accordingly we can give clean opinion or modified opinion clean opinion නම් what a clean opinion එක කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැති opinion එක නේද කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ true and fair view එකක් දීලා තියෙනවා framework එකත් එක්ක what we are going to issue an opinion according to the financial reporting framework it's giving a true and fair view there's no any doubts or any difficulty to issue the opinion that's all about clean opinion modified means there's a change to the clean opinion there's a change to the basic opinion so that modification may be impact to the opinion impact to the opinion or no impact to the opinion impact to the opinion no impact to the opinion එතකොට modification එකක් කරන්න පුළුවන් opinion එකට impact වෙන්නත් පුළුවන් impact නොවෙන්නත් පුළුවන් කොහොමද impact නොවෙන්න modification එකක් කරන්නේ දැනෙන්නේ නැති වෙන්න modification එක there's a change but not impact to the clean opinion right so then here maybe no impact maybe emphasis a matter or other matter we are putting a kind of a paragraph we are going to emphasize a matter in the financial statement we are going to highlight a matter in the audit opinion but we are not impacting to the opinion is clean but there's a modification right so then we need to consider that aspect as well and then impact to the opinion may be audit qualification or adverse opinion or disclaim opinion so this is how basically we are issuing audit opinion so then overall this concept will be discussed in this lecture number 10 so that is the basic explanation I want to give you before we are going to the slide deck right straight away now we can go to the slide deck we can straight away go through the slide details easily now but because you know the background and then you know the link with the previous lectures audit planning execution and අපි audit plan කරපු විදිහට execute කරා execution වලින් ආපු result එක summarize කරලා audit opinion එක දෙන්නේ කොහොමද කියන එක දැන් understanding එකක් තියෙනවා so then now we can go to the slide deck right එතකොට අපි මේ 700 series එකේ standard guideline විදිහට කොහොමද audit opinion එකට යන්න කියන එක අපි කතා කරමු එතකොට අපි audit report එක issue කරන්න කලින් key focus areas මොනවද අපි critically evaluate කරන්න ඕන key focus එකක් තියෙන්න ඕන මොනවද කියලා I have mentioned here So, then basically adequate audit evidence, sufficient and appropriate. Sufficient always consider about the quantity, appropriateness always discuss about the quality of audit evidence, right. Quality, whether it is original or duplicate, photocopy, external or internal, we have already discussed all those things, right. And then as I discussed, uncorrected misstatements, as I discussed, we may have misstatements after informing to the management, they are going to correct. We are focusing about only the uncorrected misstatement once you are issuing the audit opinion. And then qualitative aspect of the entity's accounting practices, not the financial aspect, but the qualitative aspects also we need to evaluate. And then especially management judgment, if you are doing kind of estimate or kind of a disclosure, it may be evaluation about contingent liability. So, then management judgment is very crucial, you need to evaluate that. Basically once you are evaluating disclosure adequacy, once you are auditing your significant disclosures, really important. Other than that, once you are auditing estimate, judgment is a crucial element you need to understand and validate. එතකොට management එක judgment එකක් අරන් තියෙනවා නම් auditor විදියට ඒ judgment එකේ reasonability එක check කරන්න. අපිට දැන් judgment එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ වෙන කෙනෙක් තව judgment එකකට එන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි අපි මොකද කරන්න ඕන auditor management එක අරන් තියෙන judgment එක reasonableness එක අපි check කරගන්න ඕන. That's really important, right? Adequate disclosures. So then as per financial reporting framework, have they done adequate disclosures? Disclosure, presentation and disclosure, how we can address the accession of presentation and disclosure. And then accounting policy, have they adopted appropriately with comparison to the last year? How they are using, are they using correct accounting policy? Is there any policy change? Is there any estimate change? Are they going to adopt new financial framework? Are they going to adopt the kind of doing kind of a early adoption? So then you need to consider that as well, right? And then applicable financial reporting framework. එතකොට අපි දැන් currently use වෙන financial reporting framework එකට update එකක් කරලා තියෙනවා නම් ඒක හරියට යාලා use කරලා තියෙනවද කියන එක important, right? අපි කතා කරා accounting estimates, right? So then financial statements are relevant, reliable and comparable, understandable. So then basic elements. So then these are the things we need to consider once you are doing your conclusion stage. Conclusion stage එකේදී මේ areas වලට focus කරලා අපි audit opinion එකේ opinion එක conclude කරගන්න අවශ්‍යයි. Right. අපි මුලින්ම එන්නේ unmodified opinion එක. ඒක මොකක්ද? clean audit opinion එක. එතකොට අපි මුලින් කතා කරා වගේ අපි audit procedures කරා, adequate audit procedures. In other words, through these audit procedures we gather sufficient and appropriate audit evidence to address the audit risk, to reduce the audit risk acceptable low level. The audit procedures may be substantive procedures and TOC. Through these audit procedures we noted misstatements, right, or scope limitations. So after notifying to the management, they responded very positively. They supported to eliminate this scope limitations and they corrected all the misstatements. Because of that, we are going to give true and fair view. In our opinion, financial statements present fairly in all material respect give the true and fair view of the financial position ABC company as of December this date, right? And financial performance and cash flow for the year then ended in accordance with Sri Lankan accounting standards. Cash flows for the year then ended. Year for the year mean for the period concept, P&L and cash flow statement, right? Cash flow statement for the period, for the year, performance for the year, right? And ended mean financial position as at date. We are giving the opinion for both balances are accordance with the Sri Lankan accounting standard. It means SLFRS and LKS. So that's all about a clean opinion. So then now you are comfortable with this. So opinion එකක් කොහොමද issue වෙන්නේ? එතකොට අපි opinion එකකට ගියොත් සෙක් එකට ගියොත් ඔයා දන්නවා සෙක් එකට යන්න මෙතන තියෙනවා auditor general issue කරපු audit opinion එක, right? එතකොට දැන් audit opinion එක තමයි on top of the audit opinion we have the opinion paragraph. So you can see here, this is the opinion. In my opinion, company financial statement give a true and fair view of financial position of company 31st December and its financial performance and its cash flow for the year then ended accordance with Sri Lankan accounting standards. This is a real opinion, right? So then you can refer actual opinion and you can go through that. Whatever the listed company, you can easily go through annual report and you can evaluate, and practically you need to see these things. Practical usage is very important as a student, right? ඔයා theory කොච්චර ඉගෙන ගත්තත් practically මේක දකින්නකොට ඔයා independently ගිහිල්ලා බලනකොට ඔයාට ඒ event එකත් එක්ක තමයි මතක. දැන් හිතන්න දැන් මෙතනින් අපි දකින්නෝ මේක. ඊට වඩා ඔයා පොඩ්ඩක් Google search කරලා සෙක් එකට ගිහිල්ලා annual report එකක් අරගෙන annual report එකේ first pages වල මෙහෙම go through කරලා අපේ audit report එක හොයාගෙන ඒකේ opinion එකට ගිහිල්ලා මේක study කරනකොට තමයි ඔයා activity එකක් එක්ක experience එකක් එක්ක ඔයා learn කරනවා. So then you have to do that, right? So then we can go forward. So then that's about clean opinion. Basically clean opinion එකක් එක්ක audit opinion එක elements ටික අපි මෙතන mention කරලා තියෙනවා. අපි මේක planning stage එකෙත් කතා කරා. ඔයාට opinion එකකට straight away යන්න පුළුවන්. ගිහිල්ලා බලන්න පුළුවන්. title එක audit company එකේ firm එකේ address එක, opinion section එක, basis for the opinion, going concern assumption, key audit matters, CAM, right? Other information, and then financial statement responsibility, that's for the management, responsibility with the management. What's the responsibility with the auditor? Auditor's responsibility, and other reporting responsibilities, and basically the engagement partners membership number and auditor's address, and basically the audit report date. So this is the basic content. Once you are going to a real audit report, you can see, as we discussed, basis for the opinion, key audit matter, and then see under key audit matters you can see what is the key audit matter and then the relevant procedures, and here other information, right, and then as we discuss responsibility of the management responsibility, and then auditor's responsibility. So, then you can read these things, right. And here we have set of other requirements. As a government related entity, we have separate other requirements, and then regulatory paragraph, that is also really important. As a company, in an audit report, we need to address all those regulatory aspects. Audit opinion itself is a regulatory requirement, and then we need to address the regulatory requirement, other regulatory requirements which derive from Company Act, some other specific regulations, right. It may be government related, National Audit Act, and then this is a kind of a insurance company. So, then insurance related regulations, see section 47(2) of Regulation of Insurance Industry Act. So, then all those things should be addressed under regulatory para. So, then here auditors, auditor general signature, if it is a partnership, maybe partners signature with the date and the location. So, this is the basic format structure of audit report. You can go through whatever the audit report, you can see the similar content, right. Right, you can go to the slide deck again.